do these 3 things for the narcissist, they would lose their mind. Number 1, live a life where you...
I wanted to talk to you about how narcissists infiltrate the YouTube survivor community. So let's jump in and talk about it. How? First of all, they create fake profiles, and sometimes even multiple fake profiles. There's typically no content there, but they'll use them to stalk, comment, maybe even harass, in some cases, other individuals, whether it's content creators or, say, other survivors who maybe they were connected with. They often make empty comments that are awkward, maybe even a little inappropriate. They don't really have a depth of insight to them, and or they may make comments or statements that are excessive or over the top, like maybe overly religious or overly zealous, and they will, but not really any substance, if that makes sense. Also, they will comment in a particular style, and I'm not saying that everybody does this or everybody who does this is a narcissist. However, they will use tools or styling tools like cap shouting, and it's somebody else's channel, and lots of emojis to kind of as filler, I'll say that. And really, if you have really been through it and you really are about survival and about being a part of the community and engaging and helping each other and all of that, there's no need to cap shout on someone else's channel. There's no need to cap shout and insist that everybody pay attention to you. So these are some things to really look out for. And I'm not saying that that's the case all of the time, but think about it. If you're just commenting generically like everybody else and just like, yeah, you know, I finally got away from my boyfriend, he abused me for several years and this and that and the other, and then all of a sudden you've got somebody who's like, listen to me, you know, we are all survivors and we're all this and that and we're all blah, blah, blah. So those are things where you want to just read between the lines and examine carefully. Also, they'll mirror other survivors, or they'll mirror survivors and other members of the YouTube community and project their comments or their sentiments back to them. They learn the language, they learn the rhetoric, the vocabulary, and they'll regurgitate that in an attempt to fit in and to mask their toxic behavior. But also at the same time, they'll also even collect bits and pieces of stories from survivors that they've abused. So they may use some of the things that happened in your relationship with them and add that to the comments and to make their comments sound more legitimate. But if you really look closely and really read carefully, you can see like who's really sharing sincerely and who's not. And if you can't see that, that's something that you need to really learn. And you may want to start by re-examining the communication between you and the toxic or narcissistic individual that you were dealing with. Also, I want to note that it's very easy for them to jump on the bandwagon when negativity or those kinds of sentiments or bitterness is being spewed. They have no problem jumping in on that because think about it. They're toxic. They're bitter. They are angry individuals, so that becomes kind of that's really, you're talking their language in that case, and so it makes it easier for them to jump in, chime in with the negative comments, but when it comes to really sharing something deep, something that's really painful, and that comes from a place of sincerity and depth, nada. Let's talk about why. So the obvious answer would be supply, attention, sympathy, likes, admiration. Hey, that's a great comment. Hey, I totally agree with you. Oh my gosh, you're totally telling my story. Secondly, This is the path of least resistance. To live and lurk and move and operate in the comments section on survivor channels on YouTube is a great choice in a sense because the hard work is already done, which is the creation of the content. The content is already there, and if they're not having success in getting likes, attention, adoration, admiration, and praise for their own content on their own social media accounts, like the ones that they really use, then this is it's ready-made. It's like a buffet. It's like, okay, I can just jump on this person's channel and comment here and just sit back and wait for the likes to roll in or wait for the replies to roll in and just soak it all in. Also, it can serve as a new hunting ground for narcissists who are more into conning, manipulating, scamming people. They may think, oh, great, this is a great little playground here, and I can, hunt around and try to find somebody else to suck into my drama or suck into my little scheme and, get whatever it is, money, you name it, stuff, a place to stay, that type of thing. And then this might seem a little hard to believe, but another thing that I thought of in terms of a why is a sense of belonging. These are, if you think about it, these are individuals whose toxic behavior has put them in a position to where a lot of people do not want to deal with them, not even their own relatives, okay? And so by masking themselves with a fake profile and then jumping into the comment sections of these YouTube channels on narcissistic abuse and healing and survival and all of that, then they're jumping into a ready-made community where they can move and operate anonymously and, in the case like I just mentioned, make comments that mirror things that a survivor would say, and to sit back and wait for the likes and the replies and all of that to roll in and just suck up the attention. And in that, get a sense of belonging. It may become part of their routine. If they're bored, broke, don't have anything better to do, not working, whatever it is, it can provide entertainment, attention, and something for them to do, something for them, an outlet for them. If they're angry or feeling like they need to let off some steam, then they can jump on a channel in the comments and they can vent about, a narcissist in their life who did this or that or the other to them, or that they got away from or survived, and look on the surface like a legitimate member of the community, but in reality, they're just getting their emotions regulated by the community. See how that works? So what can you do? Well, you can, for one, think critically. Think about what you've learned think about what you've learned about narcissistic abuse on these channels and in this community. What have you learned? What are the characteristics? What are the traits? What are they looking for? What do they need? What are the red flags? What are the signs? Think critically about that. Two, you can read carefully, and especially between the lines. There's a lot there if you really examine comments and things like that. And then three, do your due diligence on folks. Even content creators, do your due diligence and set your boundaries and proceed with caution going forward. Protect yourself. Being a part of a thriving community is encouraging and uplifting, and it's so important for healing moving forward. Narcissists are everywhere. There's nothing that we can do about that, and this narcissistic abuse survivor community on YouTube is no exception. The best thing that you can do is to keep learning, keep reading, keep studying, think critically, do your due diligence, be aware, and take care of yourself. You're not alone, and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Much for